Thank God it's Monday. It's time for All In, episode number 15. Hit it, Elizabeth. You're listening to All In. This is the podcast dedicated to helping you fulfill the mission of God in your life and around the world. I'm your host, Geoff. Hey everybody, welcome to today's episode of All In. This is going to be part 2 of our 2-part series I've been doing on 10 ways to upgrade your life in 2015. You know, we all love to get upgrades, whether it's on our computer, on our smartphones, or like myself, on 2 days from now I've got a long day of travel, about probably close to 30 hours altogether flying on that day, and boy do I appreciate upgrades, and unfortunately I don't get them as often as I would like, but they are so nice. But better than getting an upgrade on your computer, on your iPhone, or on your long international flights, the best upgrade you can do is the upgrade you give yourself. When you have an upgraded self, you will have an upgraded life. And I want to continue in our discussion of 10 ways to upgrade your life in 2015. Episode 1, just to recap for you, we covered how you can upgrade your spiritual disciplines, upgrade your diet and your exercise. And by diet, I don't mean the faddish things that we do in order to lose weight. I mean the lifestyle that we practice to gain health. Upgrade number 3 was to upgrade your relationships. Number 4 is to upgrade your thought life. Number 5 that we closed with last week was upgrade your personal care. Now this week we want to look at the other 5, beginning with number 6. Our 6th upgrade for 2015 is to upgrade your attitude. That's right. As the old cliche says, attitude sets your altitude. And for this year, I know I set for myself as I was going over my goals for 2015, one of the things I set out as a goal was to have a better attitude in 3 areas. One is an attitude of gratitude, to be thankful, to be just so appreciative of everything that people do for me, and the gifts of life, everything, just to grow in my thankfulness of all the things in my life. It's like the Bible says, to give thanks in all things. And I want to work on living that. Sometimes I catch myself being a complainer and not a thanker. Second attitude adjustment that I've been learning to live with is generosity. Be thoroughly generous. And when I started practicing this, or being conscious of it, rather, I should say, I was down in Mexico. Debbie and I were taking some time away for some prayer and planning and rest and relaxation, and so I've been thinking a lot about this of developing an attitude of generosity. And we had a situation. It's really petty, and it's terrible to even to admit it, but uh, we had a place. I used my frequent flyer miles to get us a little place there in Mexico and to buy our flights down there for Debbie and I. And I had grabbed a place out on the beach, 2 chairs and a nice little umbrella. And somebody came along and moved right up behind into the shade of our umbrella and set their chairs right there. And man, I wanted to get mad. It's like, guys, we got this place so we could enjoy the beach, we could enjoy the shade, and for the strangest thing in the world, I'd never would think about it. But they came up and set their chairs in our shade. Imagine that, our shade. And I found myself wanting to get really upset with them, to really just go, oh, the nerve of them, and to, just maybe do something to make them miserable, talk real loud, be real obnoxious, something like that. And I remembered this, that I would be generous. Not just generous when it comes to uh, being happy about the things I want to be generous about, but am I going to live with an attitude of generosity, of open-handedness in my life, to be able to say, hey, I'm going to be generous. And so it really helped me to check my attitude at that point. So gratitude, generosity, and servanthood. There's always plenty of room in the servant's quarters. And those are the three areas I've been seeking to upgrade my life here in 2015. The number 7 on our list of 10 upgrades for 2015 is to upgrade our kingdom investment. Now, we could also use the term intentionality. I like that term, intentionality, that we are intentionally thinking and acting in how we spend our time, how we spend our money, how we spend our energy, our works of service, everything that we do. Are we assessing that with intentionality, not just filling in the blanks and, hoping we make it through this day, but every day that we're living our life with intentionality, that the way that I spend my time advancing the kingdom purposes of God and His mission, the way I spend my money, the way that the church spends its money. Does that advance the purpose of God? Does it advance the mission of God, or does it perpetuate the institution? And God is wanting us to think differently about how we spend our time, our talent, and our treasures to advance His purposes. And do an audit for yourself. And look at your calendar, look at your checkbook, look at your activities, and say, which of these best advance the mission of God in my life? Do an assessment there. It's like it says in 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 13. It says, therefore, preparing your minds for action and being sober-minded, set your hope fully on the grace that will be brought to you at the revelation of Jesus Christ. So prepare your mind for action. Think soberly. Now, if it's possible, if he's telling us here to think soberly, it must be possible to think drunkenly or intoxicatingly, so that your mind is diluted in the way that you think. So think sober-minded. Think with clarity and intentionality in your purpose. The 8th upgrade that we can do in our life for 2015 is to upgrade our daily habits. Big doors swing on small hinges. Back in January of 2014, I wrote a post on my blog called The Power of Habits. And in that post, I had this. It was a quotation I found years ago. Listen to this. It says, I am your constant companion. I am your greatest helper or your heaviest burden. I will push you on or drag you down to failure. I am completely at your command. Half the things you do, you might as well just turn over to me, and I will be able to do them quickly and correctly. I am easily managed. You must merely be firm with me. Show me exactly how you want something done, and after a few lessons, I will do it automatically. I am the servant of all great men, and alas, of all failures as well. Those who are great, I have made great. Those who are failures, I have made failures. I am not a machine, though I work with all the precision of a machine plus the intelligence of a human. You may run me for profit, or you may run me for ruin. It makes no difference to me. Take me, train me, be firm with me, and I will place the world at your feet. Be easy with me, and I will destroy you. Who am I? I am habit. Your habits shape your destiny. Stephen Covey, the great writer of the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, said this. He said, if you sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Sow a character, reap a destiny. Let me break that down for you again. I want you to make sure you catch this. Your thought leads to an action. Your action repeated leads to a habit. Your habits repeated develop your character, and your character is your destiny. Darren Harding, in his book The Compound Effect, said, you will never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine. So this year, as you're looking to upgrade, look at the things you do every single day. What are the habits you need to instill in your daily routine that bring about success and upgrades? I used to have a habit of getting on my total gym and working out and building my body strength, and I got out of the habit a few years ago, and I packed it away, put it in the closet, and just focused mainly on my running and kept up with my running and everything. And then a couple of days ago, I thought, I need to get that machine out and work out some more. And I got it out, and after a few minutes of working out on it, I realized that atrophy had set in, and some of the muscles I used to have gone on vacation. They're not with me anymore. At least if they are, they're not working so well. And then the next day, I was sore because I had not been in practice with those. But practice builds muscle. Learn to build the muscle, the memory muscle of your daily routine will build the character and destiny of your life. Let me give you a couple of resources here that will be helpful for you. One blog that I wrote that I've already referenced. I wrote that in January, I think it was January 4, 2014, The Power of Habit. We'll include that in the show notes for you. Also, a couple of books that I've found very helpful on this. One is called The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. Duhigg. The Power of Habit. Great book. And then another one that, boy, I thoroughly enjoyed this book. It's called Talent is Overrated by Geoff Colvin. Both of those have been great resources for me. Number 9 in our upgrades in pursuing a greater life in 2015 is upgrade your ambition. Ambition is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Sometimes as Christians we think that having ambition is a bad thing. Well, it's not. It's what do we have ambition for? I want to fulfill everything that God has called me to be. I want to be a good steward of every single thing God has vested into me and entrusted into me. I have here on my desk 2 little statements that I got from a great missionary. One is, he said, ask great things from God. William Carey, when he said this, ask great things of God. Is my prayer life ambitious? Am I asking incredible things? Psalm 1, or I think it's Psalm 2 rather. Psalm 2 says, ask of me and I will give you the nations. That is in my prayer. I pray that on a regular basis. I pray, Lord, I am asking you for these nations. And it's amazing to watch what happens, how God opens up opportunity when you start praying. If you want a greater life, increase your prayer life. Be bold and ask for great things from God. The second statement that William Carey said was attempt great things for God. So you ask great things of God and you attempt great things for God. Look, folks, your life is too short to live it halfway up the mountain. Now, that's what mediocrity means, right? Mediocrity literally is translated as halfway up the mountain. Don't go halfway. Go to the summit. Go to the top. Make it all the way. See, dreams are a good thing, as Stephen Covey said. Dreams are a good thing. Live out of your imagination, not out of your history. Some of us are living so much out of the baggage of our past, the failures of our past, rather than the spirit-infused and spirit-energized imaginations of our future. That God shapes us by our future, not by our past. Have great ambition. One of the practices I've been doing for the last few years is during the month of January, I'll typically set aside several days to come up with some life goals for the coming year. And typically we call these SMART goals, which are, they must be specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time-bound. But this year I added 2 more to that, which would be exciting and relevant to your season. Now, this is not original with me. It's from a program I'm working through with Michael Hyatt. But it's called Smarter Goals, that they're specific. That is, I just can't set up a goal and say, I'm going to lose weight this year. No, I set up a specific goal. I will lose X number of pounds per month so that by June 3rd or whatever the final date was, I have it written down. By June 3rd, I will have a total body weight of X. See how specific that is? It's very specific. It's measurable. I know how much weight I want to lose, when I want to lose it. It's actionable. I can do something about it. It's not just, hey, I hope to lose weight. No, there are certain actions that I must take. It's actionable. It's realistic. I didn't say I want to lose 50 pounds a week for the next 3 weeks. Well, if I did that, well, that would be crazy and unhealthy. But it was realistic. I didn't come out and say, hey, I want to win American Idol. If you've ever heard me sing, I would never even make it on the American Idol except for the outtakes of "Don't Be That Guy." It has to be realistic. It needs to be time bound. That we have a deadline with it. It also needs to be exciting. It needs to be something that when you think about accomplishing that goal, you say, yes, that's what I want to do. One of my goals has to do with my running, and I set a kind of a bodacious goal for me, and I look at it and it scares the daylights out of me. I think, can I do that physically? Will my body handle that amount of running? But when I think about that, the joy of accomplishment, I'll go, yeah, that's exciting. It's scary, but it's exciting. And is it relevant to this season of your life? If you're a young parent with small kids, and you hear somebody talk about, oh, you need to spend an hour a day with God or 2 hours a day with God in prayer, and you're thinking, dear Lord Jesus, I'd like to have 5 minutes. Well, that might be your goal for this year, because you've got small kids, and they kind of have their own schedule, and they really don't care what your schedule is. They don't wake up and say, oh, great, mommy's in there praying, I'm going to leave her alone. No, they seem to have this homing device that finds out when you're needing a downtime. Well, that means they're in on you. So make it relevant to your season of life. Maybe you've got small kids, maybe you've got a demanding lifestyle right now, working 2 jobs or whatever. Make it relevant to where you're at and feel the peace of that. But upgrade your ambitions. Go for something bigger than what you did last year. And finally, the 10th upgrade for 2015 is upgrade your standard of living. This is something that's been a struggle with me at times. I grew up dirt poor. I don't know any other way to say it, but we grew up pretty dirt poor. So, I didn't have much ambition on the way I would necessarily look or dress, or certainly had no dreams of fashion and anything like that, or fancy cars. But even if you're driving a 1973 clunker, you can still upgrade that. You can still make sure it's washed, it's maintained. If you're driving around in a dirty clunker of a car, go wash it, go clean it up. Don't drive around in that. You're worth more than that. You don't deliver that valuable package of who you are, the image bearer of God. Don't deliver that in some ragtag presentation of yourself. Upgrade your standard of living. You are the image bearer of God Himself. So upgrade your package. Upgrade your standard of living, as it were. Treat yourself to this. There's an old Russian proverb that I like a lot. It says, when you meet a man, you judge him by his clothes. When you leave the man, you judge him by his heart. Now, think about this. What could you do in your life right now that would be an upgrade in the way that you are living your daily life? Maybe it's just think of something. You hold something quality in your hand, and you go, oh, wow, that's really got some substance to it. That's really nice, and you like the way it feels. Now, I'm not talking about something that's just trendy and expensive and fashionable to try to impress people, but I'm talking about something that's nice and quality and substantive. You get that and you like that. Well, that's who you are. Upgrade your life to match who you are in Jesus Christ. Well, I think if you will do these 10 things that we've outlined here, it will help you upgrade your life, and you will have a great 2015. Love to hear your thoughts. Let me know what you think about this and other subjects. Or, hey, if you've got any ideas about future podcasts, this podcast is here to serve you, to help you. So help me to help you. God bless you. Well, we're done now. Thanks for listening. This is Geoff Roper reminding you that the mission of God is too grand for mediocrity or average living. You were created for a purpose. and that purpose is found in the mission of God. It's your life. Now go live it.